All right, what up, guys? This is our homework for the week here. A couple of people requested a video for it, so I said, why not? Let's do it. We got 10 questions. It does have some pretty specific instructions here. It says, for odd numbered questions, write your answer using interval notation. For even numbered problems, write your answer using set builder. So we're going to be using our interval notation over here on the left column and our set builder notation on the right. It's good practice to do both of them. So let's hop to it. I don't know why these guys printed number lines here below. I try to remove those, but I guess number lines printed anyways. I made sure to remove them for the test review, at least that. Yeah, let's get going. So the very first step over here, we just need to solve this for p. It's a regular equation, so we're going to subtract 7 on both sides. So maybe recopy it so that thing's not in the way. And let's do that, subtracting 7 on both sides. Boom, cancel. Negative 6p. Somebody asked me to please make sure I show my work on every problem, just so they understand what's going on. And cool with me, I can show my work on every question, although I do encourage you to show the least amount of work that you're comfortable dealing with. So please go for that. Go ahead and divide both sides by negative 6. We get p is greater than or equal to 3. All right. And now let's go ahead and move to from here. Same exact idea. I'm just going to copy it first because, yeah, a little bit in the way. Now I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. Got negative 8p greater than or equal to 24. And divide both sides by negative 8. Cancel. Don't forget to flip the sign. You guys divide by a negative. So greater than, it will become a less than. And now we have to do our interval notation. Because this is interval notation, we're going to use our number line. We might as well just use the number line that's already here for us. We have to draw another one. P is greater than or equal to 3, so that's going to be, on top of that 3, and greater than goes to the right. P less than or equal to negative 3. And that's going to go to the left, just like all ors. It kind of makes sense that's the case. And kind of our idea from today. I'm going to kind of reiterate that one more time. And actually, it's probably easiest to deal with if I actually just redraw my own number line. So I'm going to redraw one more time. I know I just said I'm not going to, but I'm going to anyways because it will make it easier for me to explain. Let's get another color. Blue. Going off to the right, off to the left. Okay. So, anyways, the far left-hand side of the number line is going to be negative infinity, and the far right-hand side of the number line is going to be positive infinity. Basically, it's the furthest right you can go. It'd be all the way. I mean, really, realistically, we're going forever and ever. Going forever and ever left. That's what those arrows mean. On the far left, we have negative infinity. The far right, we have positive infinity. Every single section that we mark on the graph needs to get an answer. So here we have 2 sections. We have a section here and a section here, and that's going to get our 2 answers. We actually already have the numbers written down, a negative infinity and a negative 3. Now we need to decide if we're going to get a bracket or a parenthesis. For those of you who might be confused about whether it's a bracket or parenthesis, I do want to remind you some of the notes, and maybe if you don't have them, you can get them down now. But anytime you see these less than or equal tos, you already know that those go for a filled-in circle, but they also get brackets. Likewise, if I had the other situation would be if I have just the less than symbols, we know that those go with open circles, and these ones go for parentheses. But infinities always get parentheses. So this negative infinity here, guaranteed parenthesis, because the idea is you can't reach it. It's not equal to. You can't be equal to infinity because you're not going to ever get to infinity. Can't get to negative infinity. So always parenthesis. And now filled in circle goes to the bracket, so it will be a bracket on that negative 3. So there's our first section of the answer. We also have another section. Whenever you have 2 sections of an answer, you have to put that big, huge union symbol, the union of 2 sets. The set of all numbers from negative infinity to negative 3, and the set of all numbers from 3 with that bracket to infinity with that parenthesis. And this is the answer that we want. Now, one of my students was asking me, do I have to put the number line if I know how to do the question? And the answer is no, actually. If you can skip the number line and jump right to the answer, more power to you. But I do recommend the number line to basically all students until you are very, very comfortable doing these questions. All right, continuing on. We got -4, -8 plus n less than -1. And now what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and add 8. This is one of those problems that you could split it into 2 if you wanted to, but because we have just a single n in the question, your life is easier if you just add 8 to quote-unquote both sides, but instead of both sides, it's all 3 sections. So you're going to add 8 there, so -4 plus 8 is 4, less than or equal to n, less than +7. And now, for the even numbered questions, you're supposed to use set builder notation. The set builder notation is honestly just a fancy way of copying the information that we already have. So really, this is the answer, but we need to add some extra little doohickeys to make it look cooler, basically. So we're going to add this neat little brackets, and then we're going to use the variable we're interested in, n, the little symbol e element of the real numbers. All of our answers for right now will be real numbers. There are questions later that will have complex, but right now it's just reals. And now we put that bar, which means such that, and now we just copy this guy. And just so we can practice the English version of it, what does this mean? This quite literally means n is a real number between 4 and 7. That's exactly what that kind of means. You don't need to write this. I'm just kind of helping in the event that you want to know what that all means. And if you want to say it the fanciest possible, the fanciest way of saying all those words would be n is an element of the real numbers such that 4 is less than or equal to n. And I'm done writing. I'm out of room. If 4 is less than or equal to n, which is less than 7, if you want to keep on going. Not too important, but hey, there it is. Let's keep it moving. We're going to number 3 now. So we have a -2b plus 1 greater than. I'm going to copy it again because that number line's in the way. And this one has the word and in the middle. So instead of going apart from each other, they're going to come together. For a question like this, we got to do our little switcheroo. We're going to take that -3b, move it to the left, take that +1, move it to the right. -2b plus b, kind of add like terms. There's going to be a single 1b, and -3 minus 1 is -4. And then here, kind of splitting it in 2, we have, again, copying because I'm out of room. We're going to move this b to the left, that 8 to the right. So we have 2b minus b less than 4 plus 8. 2b minus b is just a b less than 12. And that word and is in the middle of them. So because that word and is there in the middle, we can go ahead and create our number line knowing that we have that -4, we have that 12, and they're going to be connected to each other with open circles at the end because there are no little equal to symbols. And now for our actual interval notation answer, again, we're only graphing the section that we answered. So we've only answered right here. There's no negative infinities or positive infinities in this question. It's only this little tiny part right here, which means it's only our little tiny answer, -4 to 12. And that's it. Let's finish it up with number 4 here, again with that set builder notation. And again with me copying my problem because I'm out of room. Lots of different choices on this question. I think most students are going to have an easier time if they divide by 7 first, but because most students choose not to divide by 7 first, they choose to distribute. That's how I'm going to do it. So feel free to use a calculator at any step here. We're going to go ahead and subtract 35 on both sides. So that's going to be negative 392 greater than or equal to 56r. And then after that, just divide both sides by 56. And assuming this is a contrived problem, I'm going to guarantee that that's a negative 7 greater or equal to r. Dividing out is going to give that negative 7, and then we usually want to rewrite it the other way, put that r first. All right, double check it, didn't make a mistake. Looks good. All right, and now r is less than or equal to negative 7, and we have to do it in set builder notation. So now we have little r is an element of big R, and then we just copy it. There we go. Oops, couldn't even see what I wrote. There you go, now you can. Good stuff. Let's continue on. Let's do the next couple questions. That was the first 4. Now we're moving on to the next 6. Here it goes. A is greater than 4. So it's like kind of practice of what we did last time, or last week. So let's split it into 2. So we have A is greater than 4, or alligator eats the A. So just a reminder, if your alligator is eating those absolute values, maybe put those little teeth on the little alligator, this always creates an or. But if your alligator is eating the number, it creates an and, just a reminder. So now this one does create an or. A is greater than 4, or A is less than negative 4. You always flip the sign and make the right side negative. So these two signs here should be the same. So these are same. But then these two, from here to here, these are going to be different every time. That's the word different spelled creatively. Okay, so there's positive 4 and negative 4 as our two sides. Is greater than 4 and less than negative 4. And to help us write the interval notation, we're going to go ahead and create that number lineup. Again, if you understand how to do these questions, you do not necessarily need that number line, but I do think it is helpful for us who need it. So there's our number line answer. And again, we're going to write down all the numbers that do end up showing up in our answer. So negative infinity, so negative 4, parentheses this time because it has an open circle, u, positive 4, infinity, end those parentheses. Cool stuff. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Moving on to number 6. And now we're going to go ahead and, oh, and I forgot to mention on these questions, if you wanted to be a little bit more fancy with it, you are able to write like A as an element in the front of, because our A is inside of here. You just don't have to write it. It's kind of assumed, basically. Okay, now let's go into this. We're splitting into 2. Same idea. 2 plus B greater or equal to 3. We got 2 plus B less than or equal to negative 3. Don't forget to flip the sign. Subtract 2 on both sides. You got B greater than or equal 1. Subtract 2 on both sides. B less than or equal to negative 5. The word or is in the middle here because it's that greater than. And we do not need to create the number line for the set builder. B element of the reals such that, and you just copy that. Done. There it is. Keep the ball rolling. Number 7. All right, number 7. You could use letter U and do all that kind of stuff with this, but I don't really think you need to. You're just going to subtract 8 on both sides. Probably easy enough. And I guess this one's got another or situation. What in the world? So many ors. X plus 8 greater than 1. Absolute valued. So we're splitting into 2. X plus 8 greater than 1. X. 8 plus x is less than negative 1. And now we got to subtract 8 on both sides. We got x greater than negative 7. We got to subtract 8 on both sides. X less than negative 9. And again, that word or is in the middle. We're doing the number line yet again. Negative 9, negative 7, negative infinity, positive infinity, open circle going this way, open circle going that way. Kaboom! We're getting that number line going faster and faster here. Got -7 to -9, again, parentheses, union, parentheses, -7, comma, infinity. All right. We are so close to being done. Just 3 problems left. So number 8, whenever you have that fraction, we want to get rid of the get rid of the fraction, get rid of the denominator. So we're going to multiply both sides by 9 to start. So it's going to give us absolute value of 7/8 minus 8x is less than or equal to 45, because those 9s cancel, and 5 times 9 is 45. We split this into 2, and we finally have an and. So we got 7 minus 8x less than or equal to 45, and 7 minus 8x greater than or equal to -45. Don't forget to flip the direction and the sign. Subtract 7, subtract 7, somewhat subtracting 7, -8x less than or equal to, what's that going to be, 38, and -8x greater than or equal to, what is that, -52? Yeah, okay. I feel like I didn't put decimal or fractions for both things, but I guess I did. So divide both sides by a -8 here. We get x is greater than or equal to, you can leave it as 38/8. If you divide it into a calculator, what do you get there? You get 4.75. So you can put that in as 19/4 with a negative, or you can leave it as a negative, what I just said before, 4.75. Either of those is okay. I choose to use fractions myself, so that's how I'm going to write my answer. And then you have the word and then we're dividing both sides by -8. And doing that, we have x is, don't forget to flip the sign again, less than or equal to, and we got 6.5, I suppose, which reduces down to 13/2, which is, again, like I said, just 6.5. And now, because we're doing our set builder notation, we have x as an element of the real numbers such that, now you could just copy that, but I want to remind people, whenever you see the word and, there's actually a cutesy little trick that you can do. And the cutesy little trick that you can do is to smush it together, because it goes from -4.75 is, I just said I was going to use fractions, but I guess I'm doing decimals now, less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 6.5. So it's kind of like a fancy way of writing it. You don't need to, but because it was an and, with one of these, you can write a little bit fewer words. People like that. Furthermore, for those who would like the opportunity to solve questions even faster, and because you're watching my video, I'm going to show you a cute little trick you could do with this particular problem. This problem type, I'm going to show that in number 9. So if you're doing number 9, the regular way of splitting it into 2, there's nothing wrong with that, and I encourage you to keep doing it. But number 9, I want to show you, when you have the and situation, you can solve the problem a little bit faster with a nifty little trick of sorts. And I didn't show this in class, and I kind of should have, to be honest. Let's subtract 5 on both sides. You got -5 plus 2m is less than or equal to 11. Now, here's the trick. Anytime it's an and, this is really saying the distance between this guy is less than 11. So kind of like I explained in class, we have that going out to 11 here and going back to 11 there. And because of that, what we could do is rewrite this as -11 less than equal to -5 plus 2m less than or equal to 11. If you notice, I put the 11 on both sides because it's smushed between the -11 and the +11. And now we just solve in this fancy little way. And we got -6 less than or equal to, we're adding 5 to all 3 sections. 2m less than or equal to 16. Divide both sides by 2. And we're going to get -3 less than or equal to m less than or equal to 8. I don't know why I circled that answer. That's not correct. I got too excited. We have to create a number line because we're doing our set builder, or our interval notation. So we need that. I apologize. My brain is just turning off at the end of the assignment here. So you have from -3 to 8, so bracket, -3, and bracket, easy peasy. Please note, if you did the question like the quote-unquote regular way, splitting it into 2 and doing the and, you still would have gotten the correct answer. So here it is with this one. Might want to do u for this one. There's a lot of different stuff going on. So u is absolute value of 8m. So -4 minus 3u greater than -28. Add 4 to both sides. At -3u is greater than -24. Divide both sides by -3. And you got u greater than +8. So we have u greater than +8, but that is really absolute value of 8m is greater than 8. Split into 2. There is no cute trick for or, unfortunately, by the way. You can't really simplify it. Or maybe there is, and I just don't know the cute tricks. Someone want to go out into the world and find that cute trick for me. Divide everything by 8. Because honestly, a lot of the tricks that I know, students have shown me. They had another teacher show them. Something like that. The word or is in the middle. And because it is a set builder, we're just copying pretty much. So m element of the real numbers such that m greater than 1 or m less than -1. Boom. We're done with this homework assignment. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in class. Bye-bye.